concern is that I don't see, with all these developments and the prices that are being charged, that families are able to live in this community. My friends can't buy property here. My children will probably not be able to buy property here. Okay, I see the minorities in this city being pushed out. Pushed out. And God bless you all. Hopefully you'll do something about it to make it happen.
I'm Carolyn Meath. I live at 15 Brookford Street in North Cambridge, and I admit to serving 15 years on the planning board. This particular area up here, I drive by it and I just exclaim to the air, to my husband, my God, look what's happening here. And it's just awful. Where do the children play? We need a moratorium on development in these particular areas. And then we need a new development plan for the city. Moratorium on development.
If you look at this whole area with the eye of a developer, you ain't seen nothing yet. And if we don't, I think, have a moratorium and seriously do some planning here, we're going to be here 2 years from now and we're going to have 6,000 units because there's plenty of development opportunities out there. We come back here 10 years and none of us would recognize this place if we don't, if we don't do something on the planning side. Thank you.
I live on Chilton Street. I also found the dance complex, and part of the way I did that is by not really listening to what everybody said we could or couldn't do. We have power, we elect people, we vote, we pay our taxes. We can ask for a moratorium until we have the time to study and find out what's going on in our neighborhood because we live here.
Hi, my name is Susie. I live on Concord Avenue, and about 9 or 10 years ago, a very big, deep-pocket developer from State Street wanted to take the storage facility and put 150 units there. And my neighborhood, I was in the butter, we fought them, and for about a year and a half or two, and we won. And I'd like to say that I think the reason we won, God knows why we won, but we really worked with the city council like nobody's business, and those folks figured out that people in West Cambridge vote.
Ellen Mass from the Friends of the Alewife, and we have a pending appeal for we have a 85,000 square foot hotel that's going up right in the entry ramp into Alewife T going east, right up against the fence where the old Arthur D. Little used to be. So we have that pending. DEP accepted our appeal. And it was accepted on the basis of a moratorium based on the city's vulnerability study. The city's doing this vulnerability assessment.
So we need to put pressure on the city council to change the regulations on how these things go forward. So that they all spend a lot of money and a lot of time lobbying the city council and the zoning board. And the zoning board, by the way, is made up of 100% of people who have made their living, either at present or in the past, in the real estate business, building things, selling buildings, renting them, real estate agents, architects. They're all in the business. They're very sympathetic to the whole business of putting up projects. And the city wants to add to the tax base. So we need to put a lot of pressure on the city council. We need to have people visiting them constantly, sending them emails, and letting them know that whether or not they get elected or not will depend on their actions.
So is there in fact any way to stop these things at all? Or is our ability, are we just saying we're going to lobby to have a few more shrubs in front of them or something like that? Is there any mechanism even available to us to try to stop these things? Is anybody going to try to answer that?
I'm Charles Teague. I'm Vice President of the Association Cambridge Neighborhood. There's two ways, and you actually can afford to appeal special permits. What it does, it enters you into a renegotiation. A zoning amendment, a zoning petition, it's called, it ends up before the city council, your elected officials. And when you file a zoning petition, it gets on a timeline for public hearings. So there's a couple of ways to do this. You could go after individual areas. I downzoned my neighborhood 30%. It took a year. It was a lot of work. And we should have gone for more. It was so much work. But I also got 2 other zoning amendments passed. It's work. You can do it. We can file a zoning amendment to require that a master plan be implemented and followed, and we can make all special permits dependent on that, and that would do everything you want.